That's one of the best things you can do to increase the self-sufficiency of your property during the wet season, is collect rainwater. Me, I'm going to be collecting mine in these two IBC tanks. IBC stands for intermediate bulk containers. They're 1,000 litres, which I believe is 260 gallons. Generally used for carting bulk liquids, from harsh chemicals to just general everyday use chemicals. Anything like these two, I believe, were used for dishwashing liquid, which in my opinion is a lot of dishwashing liquid, which makes them perfectly safe for collecting rainwater for my garden. And it's one of the best things you can do for your garden. Collect rainwater over the wet season and then use it during the summer. I'm going to be connecting these two IBCs up to my drains, which should feed off this roof here and this roof here. It's probably the better part of 120 square meters. Ideally, when you get these, you want to make sure that the plastic is food grade. You can get black ones that are food grade, which are perfect for storing water because it stops the UV light getting in there and causing an algae bloom or anything like that. I've seen people use these, they've cut them through the middle and turn them into 2 raised beds or hydroponic setups. But our mission today is to connect that drain there and this downpipe here into these two. But first I need to get this one on top of here on my own, which is going to be interesting. Back in the day, I probably would have been able to awkwardly lift that on my own, but not so much now. We'll see what we can do. So my plan is get this one here on top of this one. These two drains will feed into the top one will then feed into the bottom one. Once they're both full, I will make an overflow that will just go back into the stormwater drain. Or eventually I could direct it into the trees or something like that. But first, I've got to try and get it on top of that by myself without hurting myself. How are we going to do this? Gonna lift this by myself without hurting my back. How am I going to do this? I think the hoodie needs to come off for this one. And I've got to try and beat the rain. We keep getting little small spells of rain. They're really annoying. The perfect example of why I could be catching water. So much comes out of this just from that little rain. Maybe I can make skids. Like so. And then it'll like wedge off that. Wait, will that work? Excuse me. I thought I had cable ties, but I do not. Okay. Why must you insist on walking in front of me all the time? Uh-oh. Okay, they roll. Oh no, the lip. Ugh. Ta-da! Oh. I'm out of shape. Probably need to secure these until they're full. Oh, that's pretty steady. You gotta give it the... She'll be right, mate. Hey. So now, this pipe here, I'm gonna put a T-section here so that this drain can come across, T into this, and then go into the top of this and feed it the water. You know, most people spend thousands of dollars on water collection on those big, big tanks that I don't even know how big they get. Tens of thousands. And tens of thousands of dollars too. Whereas these two tanks, 2,000 litres together, only cost me $150. And they will collect plenty of water very well. And if I need more, they're cheap. I can buy more, set it up. They do look unsightly, but I will dress these up. I'll put panels on them and a top to keep the light out and to make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Not that this backyard is aesthetically pleasing, but it will be. As a plan. There's going to be a lot of change over this backyard in the next year or two. So stay tuned for that. Take this off. Get this out of the way first. Ah. So big. Oh, I'm used to handling big long things. Let's expand these. One of the biggest letdowns from when we got this roof done, it looks gorgeous compared to what it used to be. The colour steel and then the colour steel guttering. They didn't do the downpipes and they put these plastic inserts in. They're the exact same size as the flared fitting for the rest of the downpipe. So they just butt up. So I gotta figure out a way to make these fit too. Okay, so my thinkings, which is crazy sometimes, for expanding this flared part to go over the little insert that they put on the colour steel guttering, heat this and then use this somehow to push it out to size, because if it can fit around this, it should fit around that insert. Whoa. Probably shouldn't use a heat gun that's covered in sawdust. I seriously need to clean up my garage and that. Everything's just been a little bit hectic lately. But sometimes, when life gets a little bit hectic, even the inside of your head when things get a bit hectic, the best thing you can do is take a step back, clean your bedroom, clean the garage, clean something. It does help. Got a little bit of beep on me for a second. I am speaking from experience though. I have bipolar and ADHD, so my head can be hectic from time to time. Alright, it's starting to change shape. I've unevenly heated it a bit. The looks of it. Okay, for the magic of editing, I've skipped to this part because no one needed to hear those words that were being said for a while there. But we have done it. I ended up getting this piece here. Tapering the edge in a bit, heating that, and slots right in. Now, in theory, I hope in theory, this should slide over those inserts. And the moment of truth. Oh no, it's not quite. Needs a bit more. Bugger. Okay. Attempt number 2. So, we use that other elbow that I made, we've flared it to that point. They got it close, but not enough. This piece is slightly thicker. I've heated it. I don't know if you can see it on camera. I've rounded the edges, so it should slide in nice once I heat this, and then I should be able to flare this even more, hopefully. And hopefully that's enough. Let's see. Ooh. Like that. Hopefully that's flared. You can see the difference. It's pretty well flared compared to the other one. You see, to me, this is also self-sufficiency. It's not just about the garden and having chickens and the water, stormwater collection and stuff like that. It's being able to come up with things to fix problems on your own without having to rely on calling in a professional or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. You should call in a professional when you need one. Don't let your ego get the better of you. But, oh no, has it shrunk a bit? Should have left that in there. Whoopsie. You will see a lot of this on this channel. I like to tinker and figure things out and try and fix things without having to get someone else to do it for me, if I can. And if regulations and the law allows it, obviously. I'll run this under some cold water and we'll see if it'll fit on the down spot. So I cooled it down, but now it's compressed onto my little jig I made. All right, moment of truth. Oh, whoopsie. I just unclipped the bloody gutter. Oh my Lord. Oh no, I didn't. I'm just gonna be gentle. So that worked, but it could be better. Why is that one so much bigger? That's what she said. Oh, it's still recording. Alright, so I've managed to get this on. Elbow there, facing this way. Next step, I need to awkwardly cut this part so I can put this in here. Like so. This pipe will go to there, joining the two, and then I'll have it coming into down in here. Right, now to awkwardly cut that part. Right. So there we have it. This gutter's feeding into here, goes into that T, goes in there. Same with that one up there, down here, and to there. Essentially we're getting all that roof there and all this roof here feeding these. Now, one thing I did forget to do actually up the top part is a filter, because you're going to have all your pollen and dust over summer collecting on that roof, and then with your first rain that washes into the gutter. The gutter itself collects leaves and gets slime and all that sort of stuff, bugs. When you have your first rain, that's all going to go into this tank. You don't want that going into the tank, so I need to sort out a filter, a pre-filter. Some people, when they do it, they have a downpipe, so it comes into there, goes down the downpipe to however far you want it, and that collects all the heavy debris as that water fills up first, and then it'll go into your tank. And then at the bottom you'll have a tap or just a cap that you can unscrew and empty everything out. Ideally, I'd like to do that pipe, the downpipe for my filter myself, but I've got it coming from two directions for this one. So I'm going to put a fine mesh at the top of that tank to collect things, and I just got to remember to clean it every now and then. And it'll stop mosquitoes getting into your tank and laying eggs and filling your tank full of mozzie larvae, and then you have a mosquito problem over summer. So my next thing to do, just brought this, screw this on. This will now go into the top of here, essentially connecting the two. Filling this one up first, then that one, and then I'll use the old downpipe as an overflow. It'll feed into there eventually at some point, and it'll just drain down to the old drain. So that was a bit of a pain in the bum. The hole saw, the chuck itself flogged, drill bit slipped, and then the hole saw itself was the perfect size to the inside diameter of the pipe, not the outside, so I had to file it. But it is very snug, almost perfect. I'm going to say perfect because I did it, so it's perfect. So it's been a couple of days since we set up the IBCs. Unfortunately, my camera died literally just as I was finishing up. We've managed to catch 200 litres with not much rain over the last couple of days. A little few showers here and there. So going by the equation of annual rainfall times area times drop-off equals the total annual collection you'll get. So for me, it is, our annual rainfall here is 12 to 1300 mil. So we'll go 1200 mil times 120 square meters times the drop-off, which is your evaporation of water that doesn't make it to the tank, which is generally 0.09, which gives us 13,000 litres of rain collection annually. So for these two 1,000 litre tanks, it's only going to take me a month. Basically this winter they will be full and ready for summer to use in my gardens. So I hope this episode's been helpful. You've learned something from it. If I've persuaded you to start collecting your own rainwater. It's starting to rain now, so I'm going to get out of here. I'm Mitch, this is D.I.Y Life. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and ding that bell.